Influencers, Jordan here. Quickly, before we dive into this week's topic, I just want to say I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you're a part of this community, growing together, gaining insight, and just continuing to grow, learn, develop, and figure out how we can reach this generation, Gen Z. And so this week's topic is fear. And fear is a really important topic if you think about it, particularly as it pertains to Gen Z. And the reason is because they're arguably the most fearful generation we've ever seen. And why wouldn't they be? 9/11, Wall Street crash, all the things that have happened to their parents, the divorce rate, the fact that their world is constantly seen by everybody on social media, and that they're judged by likes and follows and shares. All of these things are shaping them and producing anxiety, producing fear, and really, we need to be able to tap into this conversation and make sure that fear is not something that masters them, right? And so, first of all, we have to make sure that fear isn't something that's mastering us, right? We have to make sure that we're checking our fears, we're figuring out where we're letting fear and anxiety rule us, right? Because with this generation, what we know to be true also is it's not just as important. It's not as important. Let me stop there. Yeah, with this generation, it's important that we don't just say the right things, but that we do the right things. And so as I would finish this conversation, if I were having it with a Gen Z, I would say it this way, that all fear is not bad, right? I mean, the reality is when you are next to a cliff, it's probably a good thing that you're experiencing fear. I mean, imagine a world without fear. Imagine the crazy things that we would do if nobody experienced fear. And there are people in our world that don't, and they do crazy things, right? And so fear is not necessarily a bad thing. It can prevent us from making bad decisions. It can prevent us from harming ourselves and harming others. But there is this other reality to fear, and what is that? It's the reality that fear tells us that something is happening that is not supposed to. We are experiencing something that is wrong. And if it's wrong, that means it's not supposed to happen. So why does fear happen? Fear happens because our world is broken, because our world is fragile, because we're humans and we're frail and we're afraid. And why is that? Because we're lonely and we're sad, among other things. And so what do we need? We need somebody or something that can alleviate our fear. And 2 Timothy 1:7 says it like this: God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so the place where we can find the relief for our fears is Jesus Christ. And how can we find it there? He's the one who overcame the thing that we're all most afraid of, death. And what does he replace that fear with? Love, power, strength, and a sound mind. This is what Gen Z needs to hear, influencers. And they don't just need to hear it, they need to see it. And they need to see it from you. Are you walking in love? Are you walking with a sound mind? Are you walking in the power of God's Spirit? And are you communicating that to them clearly? Peace.